Hello boys and girls, I'm here to start with you a lesson you've all been waiting for. Drum roll please. Multiplication! I know you've been waiting for this moment for so long, but today we are learning how to multiply by 10. So first we're going to talk about writing number sentences for equal groups. Number sentences, so like 2 plus 2 equals 4, that's a number sentence. We're going to write a number sentence for equal groups. What does that mean? Let's look at what it means by showing it. So I have for sacrifice for this lesson my small shell pasta. Let's open it up. I'm going to pour some out on my mat. So take a look down. I've got a big mat in front of me. I'm going to pour some of it out. Oh dear. Now, how much is this? To count it, let's put it into equal groups. So, get you a little closer here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's one group of 10. See, if we were in class together, you'd be doing this for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's pause it there. Let's start with these groups. Sorry, small shell pasta, I don't need you anymore. So, right here in front of me I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 10. How we can write that is, can I write this upside down? Let's see. Gonna come to the side. What this looks like is 5 groups. Oh, you can't see that, sorry. 5 groups of 10. So we have 5 groups of 10, and you know there's a symbol that we use for groups of. 5 groups of 10 is the same thing as saying 5 groups of 10. That X can either be called groups of or times. So it's like saying 10 5 times. 5 times 10. So what is 5 groups of 10? We can count by tens to solve. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 times 10, or 5 groups of 10, equals 50. Good. Let's try to add some more into the mix. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have another group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another group of 10. Let's add one more, just to make it spicy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, how many groups of 10 do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 groups of 10. 8 groups of 10. It's the same thing as writing 8 groups of 10, or 8 times 10 equals, how do we figure out what it equals? Well, we have to count by 10 8 times. So we'll count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 8 times 10 equals 80. Good. Let's try a little bit more. Let's add one more group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got another group of 10. Now how many do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoops. That's what I get for counting my 2's. We have 9 groups of 10. Nine groups of 10, another way of writing that is 9 groups of 10 equals, and let's count by tens to solve it. I think these keep getting mixed up, but that's okay. We still know they're supposed to be groups of 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 9 groups of 10 is 90. Starting to see where we're going with this? So, what if I take away 3 of these groups? Let's take another one away. And let's take another one away. How many groups do we have left now? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups of 10. And what is 4 groups of 10? Another way to write that is 4 times 10 equals 10, 20, 30, 40. 40. So, uh-oh, I'm all sorts of upside down. So boys and girls, if I know you, then I know that you're starting to, the light bulb's starting to go off. You're like, oh, I get it. You're starting to see what we're doing here? So, when you have different groups of things that are all the same amount, you can count by that number. So if we have all groups of 10, then we can count by 10 to figure out how much it is. So the last way I want to teach you how to write it is, let me get my small shell pasta off the board. Sorry, pasta. Now I'm going to shift you down to take a look again. So up here we had, this way is the way you'll see it. These are writing it as a fancy number sentence, 9 groups of 10. But this is an easier way to see it. 9, the symbol stands for groups of, or times. 9 times 10 equals 90. So this way is where you'll see it more often, but the way you'll see it most often, I'm going to slide on over here. Or actually, I guess I'll just write it underneath here. So, take a look. Instead of 5 times 10, or 5 groups of 10, we would start with a 10 on top. The x goes here, and the 5 goes underneath the 0. And when we write it like this, the number of groups goes on the bottom. So we have 10 5 times. 10 5 times. So if you're doing 10 5 times, you're doing, so when I say 5 times, what I mean is, like, if I told you to blink 2 times, 1, 2. If I told you to I can't think of anything, to punch your fist 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times, that's telling you how much you need to do it. So if I tell you to do 10 5 times, you have to say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 10 5 times is, you're doing 10 5 times. So 10 5 times, or 10 times 5, equals 50. Now 8 times 10 up here, we would say 10 8 times, or 10, oops, I actually wrote 5 again. 10 8 times. So that means we have to count 10 8 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 80. And then over here, 9 times 10, same thing as 10 9 times. Or you could read it as 10 times 9. All ways are correct. Unlike with subtraction, where you can only read it top to bottom, here you can read it 10 times 9, or 9 times 10. But we'll get to that. So you have to count by tens 9 times. That's this many fingers. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 90. And then finally, 4 times 10 is 10 4 times. That means we have to count by tens 4 times. 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. Now it's time to work on this page together. Where did it go? This page. So you have these pages. Maybe they're printed out on 2 pages. Maybe it's back to front. So you'll need a pencil and we're going to work on these together. I'm going to flip you over. Put it down, flip you over. And let's get working. Name and date goes on the top. And we already have the date on the top for us. And let me flip you around. Sorry for all the shuffling. Not used to working on the floor. There we go. So in this first section, this whole row is what we're working with. This is a picture. This is our group sub-sentence. This is the second way we wrote it, and this is the third way. So here, do we have any cubes? No, we don't. So we have 0 groups of 0, 0 times 0, or 0 groups of 0, equals, do we have anything here? If we have 0 0 times, the answer is 0. And finally, what that looks like, oops, this is wrong. We can't have 10 times 0 because we don't even have 10. I guess, let's back up. 0 groups of 10. We don't have any groups of 10, so it could be 0 groups of 10. So I go back through 0 groups of 10, but guess what? I didn't mean to teach this to you yet, but here it is. If you ever have 10 times, or anything times 0, the answer is 0. So if you have 0 groups of 5, the answer is 0. If you have 0 groups of 8, the answer is 0. If you have 0 groups of 1,000,000, the answer is 0. So anything where you're multiplying by 0, the answer is 0. But that's just like with never mind. If you haven't already turned the video off yet, keep listening. So 0 groups of 10, 0 times 10 equals 0, and then 10 0 times equals 0. Sorry, this one kind of confused me, but the idea is the answer will be 0 because you don't have anything. If you have 0 groups of 10, 0 groups of 10, 10 0 times, you have 0. Okay, moving on. Now here you have one group of 10. Notice, if I were to show you these, it's like showing 10 little unit cubes becomes one of these. But I have them separated here so you can see that 10 of these makes one of these. But anyway, so if you have 10 and one group of them, you have one group of 10, which is the same thing as one group of 10, or 1 times 10 equals, well, if you count by tens one time, you have 10. That's it. And so 10 times 1, or 10 one time, equals 10. Moving on, we have two groups of 10. So sorry, I meant in the first one to count with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 little cubes in each group. So there are 2 groups of 10 in each group. So 2 groups of 10 in each group, 2 groups of 10, or 2 times 10, equals, we have to count by 10 2 times. 10, 20. Or you could say 10, 20. So 10 2 times equals 20. 10 times 2. So remember, the x can either mean groups of or times. And the next one, we have 1, 2, 3 groups of 10. Now I'm going, with this page, I will tell you they're all groups of 10. I told you that already, but I just want to repeat it. Usually, you'd have to count how many are in each, but here I'm telling you they're all groups of 10. So 1, 2, 3 groups of 10, which is 3 times 10, or 3 groups of 10. Now we have to count by 10s 3 times. 10, 20, 30. Oh dear, I forgot to write my 20 up here. Sorry. You're probably if this was in class, you'd be raising your hand saying, Mrs. Sandler, you forgot to write the answer there. Now, 10 3 times equals 30. Moving on down the page, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10, which is the same thing as 4 groups of 10. Now 4 times 10 equals, well, if we have to count by 10 4 times, 10, 20, 30, 40. 4 groups of 10 is 40. Or 10 4 times is 10, 20, 30, 40. Now this last one on the front page, I want you to try on your own before I give you the answer. If I know a lot of you, you've already started this and probably already finished and raced ahead of me. So smart. Okay, so here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 10, which is the same thing as 5 times 10, or 5 groups of 10. So we have to count by 10 5 times. 5, 10, or sorry, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Or 10 5 times equals 50. Now go to the other page. You don't have to rewrite your name on the other page since we have it on the first page. How many groups do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 10. So that's 6 times 10, which is 10 6 times. We have to count by 10 6 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then 10 6 times, or 10 times 6, equals, you have to get to this many fingers. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That would be something you might need to do if you don't have a picture. You might need to use those fingers. Here, how many groups do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 10. And that is 7 groups of 10, or 7 times 10. So we have to say, count by 10 7 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And that means 10 7 times. Or 10 times 7 equals, so we have to get to this many fingers. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Now, you have 3 questions left on this page. I challenge you to try them on your own because I've given you enough. I've held your hand through it all, and I know you're all saying, stop, I already know how to do it. So, good luck on this page. I hope that this was a good introduction to multiplication. So remember, multiplication, the X stands for groups of, or how many times a number needs to be counted. So good luck on your page. See you soon.